Hey, good morning, everyone. It is Monday, March 18th. We're halfway through the month. That's some crazy stuff. This feels like it's going by so quickly. And here's a decent bit that I want to talk about today. It's the beginning of a very big week, not only for the markets, but well, I guess it's a part of the market, but for NVIDIA, for AI in general. One of the main topics of conversation we're gonna go on about today. We also have the uh, meeting minutes, right? Fed Watch Futures. If you go and check out that website, let's see if I can. FOMC Fed Watch Futures. So, what's going on here? So we got the FOMC meeting minutes that come out this week. This is going to be very important. March 20th. It's going to be this Wednesday. And as things stand, the rate cuts are expected to not start just yet. We have a 99% chance that we're going to see rates as is right now, as you can see here on the screen, between 525 and 550. So this is going to be the first, I guess the ending quarter meeting before we go into the summer months of anticipation. And into then, right, we have June, which is the next large quarterly meeting where we price in somewhat of a chance of seeing that first rate cut for the year. So it's going to be pretty important. Realistically, as things are pricing in no rate cuts, markets have rebounded fairly nicely from Friday's lows as we saw them into that OPEC season, right? That quad witch. But first and foremost, right, we have time until the Fed jumps out at us. We have until Wednesday, which is going to probably bring some more chop and slop into the morning sessions as we get there. But one of the main topics of conversation that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in is going to be NVIDIA and AI. So Jensen Huang will be taking center stage later today, drumming up some enthusiasm for the latest breakthroughs in the AI revolution. It's a big AI week. So the company's annual developer gathering called the GTC, or the GPU Technology Conference, is kicking off at the San Jose Convention Center with a keynote from Huang slated at 4 p.m. Eastern Time today. And more than 300,000 people are expected to be in attendance, either virtually or in person, showing just how important this event is in recent years. So, what are we looking forward to here? What's going to be presented to us? Nvidia is expected to unveil successors to its key revenue drivers like Hopper graphics architecture and the H100 GPU, which is currently the go-to processor for training and deploying AI models. The new architecture is believed to be codenamed Blackwell, while the energy intensive B100 GPU will command far better performance and likely ship later this year. So, another exciting development will be the updates to the company's CUDA software, which ties developers to the NVIDIA network, as well as the introduction of the dedicated chip for the Chinese market, which has fallen under technology curbs from the US government. The GTC has become the world's most important AI conference because the entire ecosystem is there to share knowledge and advance the state of art, Huang stated in a press release ahead of the event. Now, what's very important for us as traders, as investors, as people who are watching this market fairly carefully, as Nvidia has been ramping up super aggressively, not only over the past year, but as we've seen over years to come now, right? In 2024, we opened somewhere around that 480 marker. We have now pretty much doubled, right, the price in just a matter of 3 months' time. So, while retracing some of the most recent territory that we've seen in recent weeks, you have to keep in mind that we're up about 80% year to date on Nvidia after topping a $2 trillion market cap milestone late in February. And analysts and investors alike now see the earnings per share growth topping 90% year over year in 2024, while the revenue forecast to surge 81% to over $110 billion. So Nvidia has posted 5% on average over the course of the 4-day event, followed by an immediate yet brief pullback, which could mark an opportunity for upside potential for its next earnings release. So as you can see, we're already gapping up in Nvidia, shocking right there. We're up about nearly 3% here pre-market, and it looks like that upside momentum is going to be taken care of and continued throughout as we get closer and closer to the event in itself. So that's going to be one of the main drivers to watch for today. I think NVIDIA is going to have some decent movement and moving its way up to one of the top spots in terms of market caps is going to weigh heavily on the movement of the S&P 500 in general. So I think it's going to be one of the main names to take a look at. I don't think that this upside in NVIDIA is done, right? We talked about seeing markers of 1200 plus, and a lot of analysts are looking at something very similar. But that's going to be the main thing that a lot of people are going to be looking at throughout the day, throughout the week as we lead into the FOMC announcement, which is going to come out midweek as well. So I suggest if you're trading stocks, options, whatever that is, even right equity futures, I would keep a close eye on NVIDIA and see how it reacts. It could give us a decent idea of how things are shaping up realistically, right? Who would have thought this would be one of the leaders that we take a look at? Another thing to consider, real estate, right? Real estate in America. Some news came out. The National Association of Realtors has agreed to pay nearly $500 million, $418 million over about 4 years to resolve claims of collusion aimed at maintaining artificially high agent commissions, and the NAR will also revise multiple regulations that will likely result in a substantial drop in the cost of selling a home. So, if approved by the federal court, the deal would mean that home listings across the U.S. will no longer feature upfront offers to buyers' agents, allowing buyers the opportunity to directly negotiate compensation beforehand. So, while the news broke on Friday, many are still discussing what it may mean for many real estate platforms such as Compass, Zillow, and Redfin, all alike. So, it's going to be something to take a look at and interesting that might divulge and open up throughout the remainder of the week. In terms of the equity markets, right? Interesting stuff going on. Japan, right? In Asia, Japan is up nearly 3%, 2.7%. Hong Kong is up 0.1%. China up 1%. India up 0.1%. In Europe, we've got London at midday up 0.1%. Paris is flat. Frankfurt up 0.3%. And we got the S&P 500 up nearly 0.5%. The Nasdaq is nearly up 1%, and crude oil is up 1%. So we've seen that Bitcoin is up 1.5% as we saw a slight little pullback in crypto over the last few days here. But the equity market, leading into this AI event, leading into the expected rate decision to stay as is, right? No rate cuts, no rate hikes. We're seeing some decent upside momentum as prices start to rally here pre-market. On the overnight session, we got a nice little rally on the S&P 500 trying to break out of key distribution areas and running into some potential, right, minor resistance sitting at that 52.20, 425 area. Decent little volume shaping up there, but we are now above the 51.90 region, so there's some attempted bullishness that might spark. I'm going to see if we can sustain in and around that 51.97 or 52.08 area on the S&P 500 to continue this upside momentum press. I think small pullbacks come from this 24 to 26 area to begin the session before I think we do try to make a leg higher, right? There's a lot of bullish momentum and sentiment coming into the start of the week. So I could foresee this as some potential upside momentum trying to start, but a nice little generous pullback would be good for the buyers to re-engage at lower prices for some strong-headed buyers that might come in during the extended hours trading sessions. So I'm starting the week looking at this with a slight little bullish eye. We'll see how that shapes up as we start the week on Monday. But with that, right, I hope everyone has a great start to the week. We'll be in for the rest of the week, and this Thursday I believe we'll be going live, and on Friday. So I'll see you guys then. We'll chat then. Check out TradeProAcademy.com. You can check us out at community.TradeProAcademy.com for our open Discord. And let's see how this week does commence with all the flurry and fury coming out of cryptocurrencies and meme stocks as well. A lot of opportunity in that. So let's divulge into the markets themselves and see what they got going on for us this week. And I shall see you guys for the remainder of the week. So thank you guys and take care. Let's open up our live